this afternoon? What's his goal?
Well, the president has always had a tremendous major goal of reforming our immigration laws. And right now we basically have a couple of judges in charge of all of our immigration laws, giving us terrible decisions like Flores. Congress, of course, can go to work today and fix Flores. They can fix TVPRA. It would take them probably less than an hour, but their refusal to do so puts the burden back on this president. And this president submitted to Congress in October 2017 a 70-point immigration plan. That has never been acted on, but essentially the highlights include reforming doing away with visa lottery system, having a merit-based immigration system ultimately. Certainly securing the border has been his number one goal all along, but also getting rid of chain migration. And this president has shown in the past a serious willingness to solve our Dreamers and DACA challenges as well. So Jared Kushner and others in the White House have been working for quite a while on a big immigration plan, and we're happy that the senators are coming over to be briefed on that, just as we were happy last week to host 12 Democrats from the Senate and the House here to speak about infrastructure.
Kellyanne, as you noted, the president has said that Robert Mueller shouldn't testify, but will he try to prevent him from testifying?
He hasn't said that. I think his point. No, he said that he should not, but he has not said that he will not. I think his point is very simple, which is that the Mueller investigation that lasted 22 months and cost about $30 million in taxpayer funding is the definitive, conclusive, authoritative, and final report on this. Mr. Mueller has already spoken at length through his report. And if people just want to drag this on ad infinitum, then they're showing Americans who they really are. They're not interested in immigration, infrastructure, drug pricing, healthcare, education, the economy. That's their choice. We would prefer a fully functioning government up on Capitol Hill that focuses on legislation and not endless investigation.
Does Congress have no oversight role in this process?
Sure they do. But oversight and overreach and overwrought are very different. Oversight also has to have a legislative purpose. Go read the rules. You can't just harassment and embarrassment, eating fried chicken, acting like fools is not part of the oversight function last time I looked. So we need to have serious people acting seriously in a serious body of government to work with us on the issues of the day.
As you said, Kellyanne, earlier in your hit with Fox News, you said, what are the Republicans, you said, what are the Democrats afraid of? I guess the question is, what is the president afraid of if there is
Nothing.
to be a continued oversight process?
Zero.
Then why
Nothing.
not embrace it?
The only what we should all fear is that the business of this country doesn't get done, because the engines of government slow down necessarily when one party's priority is to continue to investigate, insinuate, obfuscate, and that's a shame, because there's so much that this country needs to get done, believe me. And we've seen great bipartisan efforts like criminal justice reform, like the opioid legislation, massive, some of the judges that have passed. This president's going to continue to work on these. His 100th federal judge got confirmed. I think Leader McConnell today will give a speech that essentially says case closed. We've done this. It's over. And if they want to keep on opening the wound, then they can do that. But again, we've got the 448 Mueller report that the public can see. I can see the point. If Attorney General Barr had only released a couple pages here, a couple pages there, and we're all waiting for the report. The report's out there. People are buying copies of it. It's a public report. I think the disappointment, Pete, has been that people don't like the result of the report or what's missing in the report, and they're hoping that somehow collusion will pop back in, somehow a crime and an indictment will appear that's simply not there.
It's not just the president not want to see Mueller go up to Capitol Hill and testify.
Mueller has already spoken. Why do we need to have?
Why would it be a problem then? If he's already spoken, why would it be a problem?
Well, I just answered that question at length, but I will tell you, as somebody who works on policy in the White House, it's very disappointing to think about the way taxpayer dollars and just time and treasure and talent are being spent and wasted by one party on Capitol Hill. If we're going to have endless investigations about an investigation that went on for 2 years and concluded, but I'm sure everybody here can agree, while we're on the subject of investigations, I guess we should investigate how this all happened. Look at the FISA warrant. We should look at the 8 or so alleged leaks that came from the intelligence community, perhaps, or the law enforcement community to members of the press. So if we're going to investigate, let's do it. But let's have a fulsome investigation. Yes.
Kellyanne, do you know where Secretary Pompeo is? That's the first question. And then secondly, back on immigration, can you give us a little bit more on DACA and the Dreamers being on the table? What do you hope is on the table for 2 weeks?
I'll let the State Department tell you where Secretary Pompeo is. I know you know he's abroad. Secondly, and he's pretty accessible to the press, especially for a Secretary of State. Secondly, on DACA and the Dreamers, the president made very clear in January in 2018 in the cabinet room that he was willing to do a deal on DACA and the Dreamers. And let's see if the Democrats weren't serious. They said that there was $25 million on the table for border security. That was not true, because you know there's a difference between allocation and appropriation. So that wasn't a real number. They need to be serious too. There's a 17% increase among Democrats, according to public polling, from January to April. 17% increase among Democrats saying there's a, quote, crisis at the border. This is after Pelosi and Schumer said on primetime for the whole world to see, lied and called it a manufactured crisis. It's not manufactured. You can look at the footage. You can go visit the border. It's not manufactured to read stories yesterday that a little boy, somebody paid $130 for a little boy so they can grab his hand and come over here and pretend they were his parent. We've got these kids being recycled. I mean, let's own up to this. We have a crisis at the border. It's humanitarian. It's security. It should stop. It's up to Congress to do it. If they won't act, the president will do all he can in his administrative executive capacity to do that. But we're very happy that the Republicans are coming here today to at least listen to a fairly comprehensive plan to tackle our nation's immigration woes. It's been ignored for far too long. Last one, because I have a radio show.
You explained why the president doesn't think Mueller should testify.
I've answered that several times.
Whether the president or White House counsel plans to block Mueller's testimony or McGahn's testimony.
I've answered that so many times. I guess people are too lazy to read the entire Mueller report, may want Mueller to testify because it's easier than reading. Who are these people? They can read the report. It's all in there. It's all in there.
To block those testimonies.
The president's position is very clear. He has said that there's no reason to testify for somebody who has already issued a 448-page report that's public. Is Mr. Mueller going to go to Capitol Hill and say, oh, you know what, I forgot, milk, butter, eggs, indictment, crime? He's not going to say that. There is no criminal referral. There is no indictment. And I know that disappoints many people. I hope nobody here, of course, but I know that disappoints many people who thought that Mueller and his investigators should finish the job Hillary Clinton couldn't get done, which is keep Donald Trump out of the White House. Too bad. Live with it. And while we're on the topic, when is she going to accept the 2016 election results? I was asked that question 50 times a day between October 19th and Election Day, and the question is, when will she accept the results? It's really getting a little petty and juvenile and, frankly, not a good look for people to still be talking about the 2016 elections. It's mid-2019.
Can I ask about immigration? I'm on the Can I ask one question about the immigration meeting, Kellyanne? Yes, thank you. The meeting this afternoon, the president, as you noted, already put forward a pretty comprehensive immigration plan before. So what is the difference between the one that Jared Kushner has submitted now that he'll be selling this afternoon?
We'd like the difference to be, Francesca, that the Democrats actually come to the table and are serious about it, because this will be our second attempt. Where's their plan? What is their idea?
Well, what's different between the previous plan and the new plan that Jared Kushner's been working on?
I'll let them reveal it when they're ready to, when the president's ready to reveal it. But the president could not be more clear all through the campaign, through the transition, here in the White House for 2.5 years now, what his vision for immigration is. The question is, are the Democrats serious about it? They keep saying, oh, we need immigration reform. Be serious about it and come up with a plan. Come up with a counter plan. They can come up with a counter plan. But you have to come to the table and be serious about it. And I'd be remiss in not mentioning today in the Rose Garden, we'll see you for the First Lady's 1-year anniversary Be Best. She's doing a fabulous job on the 3 pillars, really pushing forward, particularly in the opioid crisis, and helping youth to understand the dangers of misusing somebody else's prescription, and also bringing attention and awareness, and through the CRIB Act, funding for neonatal abstinence syndrome babies. We have 150 babies, newborns, struggling for their first breast every day in this country, roughly 1 in 100 births, in some counties 1 in 10, I'm informed. And so she's really doing a great job. We're trying to keep the babies and the mothers together. And I know you'll all agree, even though you want to talk about the Mueller's testify, I know you'll all agree that that is a nonpartisan issue we should all care about. Born babies.